Hello guys, it's Rhino and welcome to one more Rhino preview. Today in this video we're gonna talk about a very thematic steampunk game that just launched on Kickstarter. It's City of the Great Machine. City of the Great Machine is a one versus many strategy game set in a grim universe of technocratic Victorian steampunk, and there's lots of resource management and hidden movement. The Great Machine is an artificial intellect created for the benefit of mankind, but over time it evolved from servant to master, and it slowly became a despotic regime. In the game, one player takes on the role of the Great Machine, trying to achieve its master plan to perfect mankind, while the others, 1, 2, or 3 players, play as the revolutionary heroes that are trying to work together to overthrow the Great Machine. If there's 3 revolutionary players, each one of them chooses and controls one hero, and they need to work together with the other heroes to start a revolution. They need to do 3 successful riots in order to win the game. To do that, they encourage discontent in the city, and they enlist the support of famous citizens who play a very important part in the game. Moreover, they try to prevent the Great Machine from completing its master plan. On the other side, the player who takes on the role of the Great Machine has on their disposal a force of perfected servants and some mechanical guards in order to bring its master plan all the way to completion. This is tracked on a progress board, which also features the discontent track. Several actions in the game raise discontent in the city, and while it's rising, there's new types of famous citizens, starting with the artists and the scientists that are so fed up with the Great Machine that are ready to support a riot. So the more discontent rises, the more famous citizens join the side of the revolutionaries. If the marker ever reaches the end of the track, this itself counts as one successful riot. There's 2 more to go for the revolutionaries to win the game, as we'll see in a bit when we'll talk about riots. One other cool thing in the game is that the entire city is built on mobile platforms in the sky, which means that whole districts in the game can move and be repositioned. This also means that the board is modular and allows for infinite city layouts. So moving on to the flow of a game turn, there's several phases. First, we have the opening phase. We reveal a new city event card, which sets a condition for the master plan to advance this round, and some extra incentives for certain actions. Players also receive money. For the Great Machine, the money is called bonds, and the heroes receive trust, which are the 2 sides of the same coin. Then it's the action phase, in which basically heroes program their moves. Each hero chooses and plays face down an access card from their hand for a specific district in the city as their destination. The access cards are hidden from the Great Machine, while the revolutionaries can look at each other's chosen access cards at any time, and they will be resolved at a later stage. Now it's the turn for the Great Machine to play. It can only act through its servants and its guards, and the player who controls it pays for those in bonds. Guards can only perform movement, while servants can move, and then they may perform 1 action each. The servants mainly have their standard actions and their special actions. The special actions can only be taken in specific districts, and with those, the servants can draw and publish directives, which are powerful tools that make the revolutionaries' life harder. They may receive extra money and reposition a certain district. In the standard actions, we have the arrest, which basically removes a revealed citizen from a district. We have the repair action, which repairs 1 mechanic guard that was broken by the revolutionaries. And we also have the raids that, if successful, they can be very powerful for the Great Machine. To do a raid, a servant can place a raid token in their district in order to catch one of the revolutionaries. So the Great Machine needs to figure out where the revolutionaries have chosen to move to this round. If a revolutionary hero did indeed choose to move to a district with a raid token, then they are detained. Now the Great Machine will have 2 options. One is to let the hero go and continue their turn normally in exchange for advancing the master plan by 1. The other one is that the hero takes no action this turn and the Great Machine tells them either no trust or no access. In the no trust situation, the Great Machine collects all the money from that hero and receives them in bonds. The no access means that the revolutionary will be denied access to that district and their access card will be forfeited. So it really pays off for the Great Machine to do a successful raid. However, they always run the risk that no revolutionary chose to go to the district with the raid token that turn, which then means that the raid failed. The Great Machine has to advance the discontent track by 1 for every failed raid. And now it's the revolutionary's turn to play. Each hero has a special ability they can use in the game, and they play according to a set initiative order. The heroes can perform movement and then take one action. They can move through connected districts to reach their chosen destination, and they have to pay in trust for every guard there is in each district they exit. In case they run out of trust, they have to roll the escape die that might result in them sneaking in, but they also run the risk of getting caught. For their actions, heroes have the special actions that can be taken in specific major districts that allow them to raise the discontent track, reposition a district, get money, cancel or discard directive cards, or return arrested citizens on the board. They also have the incitement action, which can be taken only in minor districts, and it advances the discontent track by 1. Last, they have their standard actions. They can attack a guard, and they can also identify famous citizens on the board by looking at them and placing them like this. Famous citizens are all face down in the beginning of the game, and the revolutionaries need to see what type of citizen is there, so to see if it would be time for a riot. An identified citizen is still face down, but any revolutionary can look at it at any time. And last, we have the riot action. To start a riot, a hero must pay 1 trust for each unidentified citizen in the district. Then all citizen tokens in the district are revealed. We look at the progress board to see which ones of those famous citizens have joined the revolution. So for example here, the artists, scientists, and merchants have joined, so these 3 citizens, called active citizens, will count for the revolutionaries' side. Last, we compare the active citizens count to the guards plus the traders in the district. If the active citizens are more, then the riot was successful and there's 2 more to go to win the game. This could be by either having another successful riot in the same way or by having the discontent track reach the last spot like we saw earlier. This counts as a successful riot, and at the end of the 13th round we also have the countdown event, which means that every round that passes, the master plan will advance by 1, increasing the pacing and the tension in the game. So that was City of the Great Machine in a nutshell. There's lots of meaningful choices to be made. The game allows you to think thematically and you can follow several different strategies. There's a slow build-up in the game and there's lots of tension from the hidden movement and the secrecy that I think fit the theme perfectly. Even if one side seems to be doing better, there's always room to maneuver and bring things more evenly. The book says 60 to 90 minutes of gameplay, but I think it's a lot more than that, at least until you've become more confident with the rules and that you know the strengths of each character better. I think it's more of a meaty game with lots of depth. And last, I rarely say this about games, but I think they've done a fantastic job with the rulebook and the reference guide that also includes a full game example. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the preview, and you can always check out the Kickstarter page to know more about the game and the campaign. I'll have the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.